Hello everyone, welcome to Guide, a path to many worlds. So in this tutorial, we are going to see um, the basic commands that we use uh, in our day-to-day life and some internal or system variables that we are going to use in our uh, Linux systems. See, in my previous video, you have seen the basics of the Linux and what exactly the a shell script is and what exactly a bash scripting it is. And then if you haven't seen my previous video, you can refer to my previous video. And then after that, we are going to continue with the next couple of uh, tutorials with advanced versions, and the we'll try to learn more in the upcoming tutorials. So in this tutorial, I would like to give what are the variables that we are going to use and what are the predefined variables, what are the user defined variables, and all these things we are going to see. So as you can see, these tutorials contain some of the predefined variables. So every operating system has some predefined variables here. So we'll try to use some of these variables and understand how it works with our systems. So this is my Linux terminal that I'm using. So I'm using Commander. So if anybody or anyone want to check, or if he is new to this shell, or he needs some help on doing some commands or executing some commands, then he want to check what are the options that are available within this system, then he can use this uh, for uh, getting to know what kind of commands that we can use, how it works here. So basically, um, this is the path where your bash is residing and you are just entering -c and the help, so which prints all the information related to your shell or bash, born again shell, and these are the arguments that you can pass within your bash scripting. So this is the command that you can use to check uh, what are the options that you can provide along with your command. Okay, now let's get into some more commands. So this slide has some system defined variables which are available by default to the Linux operating system here. Let's get to know what are all these things and all. So let's execute some commands here. So I'm printing and just clearing my screen here. Yes. Okay, let's print this. What exactly it says here and what is the purpose of this. Okay. So when I execute this dollar bash, then it says that it is some path. What exactly it is? So this is the path where your bash shell is residing. So that is the command. If you want to know your system, what are the shell, which shell you are using. So you are using a bash shell interpreter here. And let's see some more commands here. I would like to know what this bash environment. So what this bash environment is. So this bash environment is uh, the environment of the bash uh, which you want to configure, or where this bash is configured. Somehow I'm not getting this. Okay, let's get into this furthermore commands. So there is, you'll see some couple of commands here and you can refer others. net as well. So what is bash PID? A bash PID is a port ID in which your bash shell is running. So this is a port ID where your bash is running. So for that you can use this command dollar bash PID. PID is port ID. And if you would like to know what version that you are using, and so you can use command. So you are using version 4 here. So I'm using version 4 in my system. That is the one that it shows here. Let's get into some more commands that we'll see. And dir stack. What is dir stack? Echo dollar. So this dir stack says that where you are currently uh, pointing. So you are currently pointing into this directory. This is what it prints here, and then let's see, um, echo dollar editor. So I'm getting this. And if you would like to uh, get to know what user ID that you are using, then you can use this UID. So this is the current bash user ID this system is using, and we can see this using dollar UID. And let's see some interesting ones. Okay, now if you would like to uh, see what is the home path of your system, then you can use this dollar home and it prints the home path of the user. Or so my user home path is this, and that's why it shows this path. And if I would like to see which host that I am running, then I can use this echo dollar host name. So which shows the host name of my system, or the um, name of my system which I am using. And let's clear these things. And if I would like to print what type of host that I am using, then you can use host type. I'm sorry, I just printed. You need to use dollar, otherwise it just prints in the terminal. So I'm using a x86 64 Windows operating system. That's why it shows echo host type. And then if you would like to see what are the system variables that has been configured in your uh, system, then let's say a Java path has been configured in your system. You would like to know where it has been configured, then you can just go and check with this echo dollar path. Then it provides all the uh, tools which are having this path information. Like basically this uses your Java path environmental variables, and then whatever Python or some Linux or some C or some JDK, wherever it is residing, something. These are related to the system variables that you can print here. Get this clear. And if you would like to know what is the processor ID that your current bash is running, then you can use this echo dollar um, PPID, processor port ID, that says that 1318. And then if you would like to know from how many minutes or seconds my shell is running against this terminal, then you can print dollar seconds. So from these are the seconds that my system is up and running here. My shell is up and running here. And if you'd like to know some different shell options which are inbuilt for this terminal, then you can print some shell options. It prints what type of options are available for this shell, bash. And so these are different kind of system variables that are available here. And there may be a lot of other system variables that is available, but these are the commonly used ones that I have shown till so far. Now we have seen the system variables. Now I would like to explain what are the user defined variables. A user defined variable is not a predefined one, meaning a user can declare some variables and it can hold some values within those variables. Those are called user defined variables. So previously, if you remember, I have created a new uh, I have created some file which is helloworld.sh. Now I would like to use this helloworld.sh for further operations. So let me check what is the content inside this shell script. So there is some comments and there is some statement is it is printing to the terminal. Now I would like to add some user defined variables for this hello world.sh. Let's get into this and then we'll try to add some user defined variables here. So I'm just editing my file here. So you can see I have some comments and I'm printing something here on my system. So now as you have seen, I'm not holding any variable here, but rather I'm just printing it into the terminal. Now in this um, section, I would like to hold this hello welcome to the bash scripting in a variable, and then I would like to print that variable here. So meaning I'm just removing this part and then I'm going to create a new variable. A variable can be declared. A variable can be a user defined variable can be defined apart from the system variables. You can give any other names, so that with a dollar symbol and then the variable name and what is the message that you want to hold within this variable. So you can give like this, and then I would like to print this variable here. Now let's print this or execute this script and what says it and what exactly it says, we'll see. So now I'm executing this script. So it says that hey, command is not found, then meaning there is something wrong with my script here. Let's get check into this. So the reason why I'm showing all these things is we need to know the proper syntax for all these things. So we need to define all these things in a proper manner. So let me insert this properly. Now we can see my variable color has been changed since I'm using this bash. And you can see my editor has been changed from bash to vim editor, and then my color of the variable has been changed. Now let's see if this works here. So we need to follow a proper syntax. Still it says welcome to bash scripting, command not found. Okay, these are quite interesting, right? Hey, still something wrong. I do mistakes a lot. That's why. So, wow, now it executed. Now you can see after a lot of retries, I was struggled to do these things. Yeah, the reason why I did all these things here is you should get to know what kind of errors that we use here, what kind of errors that we face when we are writing this bash scripting, and we should follow this script strictly when we are writing this shell script. So let me explain what is the reason for this uh, failures that I have got here. So for the first time, what I did is like I have added a dollar variable and then I have appended this, and then it says that hey, your command is not found, and I removed that one and then I have executed with multiple variables. So you can just give your variable name and then you can hold whatever the message or the value that you want to hold within your variables, and then access that variable using the dollar. Then it access your uh, value within the variable. So you should follow some syntax, then it will be clear and your message will be pointed here. So now we have seen how we can hold a string variable. So let me explain what is string here. I hope you all had a basic idea. And I would like to say one more thing, like this shell scripting is for the beginners who want to learn, and uh, not for the experienced ones. But in further tutorials, we'll get into the more details regarding the shell scripts. We use some functions and then we write some scripting, and then we'll perform some functional operations in upcoming tutorials. So basically, there are different types of variables that we use in our day-to-day life. Those are like strings, numbers, and um, special characters, etc. So here in this line, we are holding a string in a variable and then we are printing. Now we have seen how to hold a variable. Now we'll see how we can uh, hold a number here. So I'm just creating a user defined variable number. I'm giving 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So right now I'm holding some number. Then I would like to print this number. Okay, let's see. See, now you can be able to see. I'm able to print my message along with my numerical value. So this is how we can hold the numbers here, and then let's get into more details. I'd like to add few more numbers. Now we have seen how we can add an integer variable. Let's see. Uh, Let me add some comments here to be more readable. Um, Holding a number here, and holding a decimal value. Decimal equal to 0.5, and I would like to print some decimal here. And okay, let's print this. So I'm just executing this script, and it says that hey, there is no number with this. Yeah, Let's see what happened. So it is not printing my decimals here. Hmm. Still it is not printing, so something might be wrong. Now I'll explain this, and then now we'll try to add some more uh, variables here. Now I would like to append some strings to my message. So let's concatenating. So we will call it as concatenated string with number. Okay. I'm using some variable called string. So I'll create a new customized variable or user defined variable, and then I would like to concatenate the other variables that I have created. So I use a message says that concatenate two variables. Okay, and I'm just printing those variables and number, and let's see what happens. See, now we can see we have printed our first variable, and then we have printed our second variable. After that I am just concatenating these two variables, right? So this is how we can concatenate two variables. And I would like to show furthermore. So for this tutorial, we have learned how we can define user defined variables, and how we can use the system defined variables, and what are the different ways that we can use these variables for concatenating all these things and all. In my upcoming uh, session, I would like to give how a user can do some uh, mathematical operations, and how a user can read uh, inputs, and how uh, we can use a different input parameters like username and the password which are hidden, and we'll see. more in the upcoming session. For now, bye bye. Yeah, thank you everyone.